Y'all hear me? I feel like this light is too bright. It's lamp down. Is this thing working? Hey. You guys can hear me? Okay, cool. Oh, Joel, you know I'm late, man. Gotta be. I just had to run my son home. How y'all doing this evening? And I'm still trying to figure out this live stuff. You know, I'm new with all this crap. Red Pill Jones, what's good? Walk 434. Oh man, it's good to see y'all, man. Hey, do me a favor, man. Everybody, let me know they can hear me. And yeah, drop y'all locations too, man. What's going on, everybody? What's going on, everybody? We 5 people deep. My first live. I apologize ahead of time. It most likely will be shitty. I'm telling y'all ahead of time. Keep expectations low. That's the name of the game. Let's see. Red Pill Jones, Walk 434. Hey man, let me know y'all locations, man. That's one thing I love to know, man. I want to get to know where everybody at, bro. Everybody at. I'm in Detroit, man. I'm in Detroit. Detroit, Michigan is my hometown. Terrible place to live, but it is home. Let's see what we got. What we got? Last one left Hayes, Birmingham, Alabama. Walk OKC. OKC. Red Pill Jones in North Carolina. Cool. Cyan checking in from Denver. I got you too, Cyan. I got your comment you left as well. Let's see. Joe's stupid, man. I'll just skim Indians on the internet. It still hasn't arrived yet. Florida, Detroit. Oh, come on, Walk. Oh, it is what it is, man. That's one thing I realized a long time ago, man. You gotta have thick skin being a Detroiter and being online, man, because they ain't gonna clown you nonetheless. But I totally get it too. And I've lived away from Detroit. That's also the benefit of it. It's one thing when you only know Detroit and don't know anything else. Miss Coleman in the building. Shout out to my fellow Detroiter. My fellow Detroiter is in the building. There's 8 people in here. I didn't even think. I thought it would be like 1 or 2 people in there. I think I'll probably be live streaming to myself, man. Roll call 6 months ago. Denver. Have I been to Denver? No, I don't think I have. So you guys got any specific topics you want to talk about or anything? As I said, Cyan had one that I wasn't expecting. In the community tab, you left a question or anything in particular. I was kind of just talking to a friend of mine before I got on about what's that kid's name? Oh, 50 Cent. Like, I don't care about celebrities or anything like that. I absolutely despise like celebrity culture. That's the only thing we have in America that I've never been a fan of. But we were just talking about 50 Cent, and I don't know if you guys saw about his son. I think it's Marquise. I'm calling him Quarter Water. I don't know, for some reason that just works with me. Quarter Water. What's up, OG? What's up, OG? Good to see you, man. I'm good, Red Pill. I'm good, bro. I gotta come AO. And make sure you guys go check out Red Pill Jones' channel, man. He's just started his channel, but his videos are good, man. For somebody who just started, they are really good. Joe, you stupid. The old shit. Thunder God, what's good, man? Shout out to Harlem, man. I'm doing good, Thunder. How about yourself, man? I cannot complain, man. So we got OG and the old family. That's my brother-in-law. Y'all checking in. It's good to see family in here. Yeah, I can't complain, Thunder. I can't complain. Oh yeah, no doubt, Red Pill, no doubt, man. I was logged on to I don't know if you guys what's the guy's channel? Oh, that dude named Dave. Yeah, man. That dude named Dave. That's my guy. And I logged on the channel with him and us, another guy, Drew Titan. It's a boxing channel. And I logged on to their channel just checking in. They were talking about me, giving me shout outs, man. I wasn't even there, man. So I thought it was dope. No doubt. Definitely got to pass along the love. Well, just say 50 Cent son. Man, that dude it's odd, man. Quarter water. It's crazy, man, because I was just having this discussion with my friend. I think it's a double-edged sword, you know what I'm saying? And I mean that from the aspect of 50 having that extreme amount of success. Because I know Red Pill, you're a little bit younger than me, but like when 50 Cent took off, like he was just he took off on another level. Sheila, what's going on? It's good to see you. It's good to see you. Yeah, so when he took off, he was just like a star, man. So my whole point behind that is that I know with that type of fame, you're never going to be able to be there for your child, man. And that's something that I think that's not really discussed enough, is, you know, these celebrities and all these high profile figures trying to raise children. And well, hell, you can't raise children. Your money ends up raising them. So that's what I kind of feel. It's like a double-edged sword. You get that success, but will you be there for your children? You know, so that's something that's why I guess fame is something I never really cared for. Briscoe, what's good? What's good, Briscoe? It's good to see you, man. But yeah, that's how I kind of feel about Quarter Water. So that situation is he's 20. I didn't realize as soon as I saw his name come across the feed, I'm like, ain't this dude like 30 or something like that? Because I remember he was in the Wankster video with 50 Cent. That got to be damn near 20 years ago, if not 20 years ago. I'm like, hold on, that's a grown ass man. So when I just watched on another channel, Pink Book Lessons, and they were talking about it, and one of the things they were talking about, he was 26. I'm like, why is this dude still even getting child support? Why is this even discussion? Yeah, 50 blew up. He blew up quick too, Walt. Excuse me, Walt. Yeah, you're right, man. He blew up quick. So that's what I think about it, Red. I think that it's a double-edged sword. Like, of course, his son, excuse me, has adopted a lot of probably the toxic things his mom said about him. You know, of course. So a lot of those thoughts are not really originating from him. They're coming from his mom. But also at 50, at the same time, I don't know his situation, you know, closely, obviously. But, you know, when you just give your children, you know, money, man, letting money raise your children, you know, it kind of turn out that way, a bit entitled, man. So seeing a grown man at 25, no, they said he was 26. At 26, still acting as if, first of all, living on, how does anybody put it in the chat? I'm still perplexed by that. How is this man still getting child support at 26 years old? Like, that's amazing to me. But I don't know, man. That's what I just think. Getting in fame, man, like your money ends up raising your child, so that way they don't know what it's like to actually go out and earn some money. So yeah, man, that's just what I kind of feel about it, man. It's weird. It's weird to me, man, but I just think it's something, man. When money raises your children, that's kind of the situation that it plays into. And Sign, I go to that question that you had on the tab for me. Hold on a second. Look here. I know something about hair. Oh, that's what it was. I would like you to discuss the importance of men cutting their hair. That was something I did not expect. I did not expect. I'm gonna get you that sign because you actually did leave a comment. Let's see. That's the thing. When you really think about it, being that age and getting child support, but non-black rappers get more support from us longer than black rappers. Yeah, that's true. I mean, that is true about the rap game in general. One thing I always thought, Walt, about that is how we're always talking about how rappers are always old, like, oh man, you too old to be rapping. But all these rap bands be out here half dead, 70, 80 years old. And it seems like that's one thing that's only labeled for like the hip hop community, or one that I think that's predominantly black. That's one thing I've always found funny, that only hip hop artists are labeled as being like old, or, you know, not getting that love or seen as stars, you know, as far as like longevity or whatever. Yeah. It seemed like the baby mom did, because I was watching because I saw his interview, and I actually going to drop a video in a few days on a little excerpt I just stumbled across today from 50, talking about, like, it's like only like a 10-minute excerpt from his book, but it really goes into detail in those short 10 minutes of just one story, and it kind of gives you just a behind the scenes view of his relationship with his son. and I'm gonna react to that in a few days. But I was just heard his mom was on just a reaction channel, Pink Lesson. I'm sure you guys have probably seen her before, and she was discussing this whole thing and brought up the baby mom 50s, and who recently did an interview. I listened to this not even an hour ago, guys. I was just dropping my son off and driving on the way back. She was talking about how they were asking her, you know, their relationship with 50 Cent, and she was talking about her taking the 50 Cent to the hospital when he was shot. And I was driving thinking like, hold on, that was over 20 years ago. And she's still holding on to that over 20 years. I thought that was hilarious, man. Boosh, what's good? What's good? If you guys, hey Boosh, man, where you at, man? If you guys are coming in late, haven't put in your location, go ahead and let me know where you guys at. Let's see. Never underestimate a modern woman's ability to rationalize bad behavior. Yeah, man. And that's one thing that really bugs me, man. Like just about I don't know, man. That's one thing that really irritates me. I think more than anything, when you get into these conversations, is the excusing poor behavior by other women. Like like a woman seeing something that's deliberately wrong, and she can see that that's an issue, but just excusing it because it's another woman that's doing that. When I see that, and it seems like to be something, of course, it doesn't apply to all women. I would never suggest such things, but it just seems like that's something that's kind of across the board. Like it just happens on the regular, especially in this area, man. Because I get it in the comment screens and also interacting with other content creators, man. You just see it; they always justify bad behavior. Oh yeah, definitely. You guys get the likes up. I appreciate it. That bugs me the most, man. Because here's the thing that I think, Sheila. I look at it as, if you're down for things like that, where is your moral compass? Because I personally wouldn't want to be with somebody who doesn't have a moral compass or has questionable ethics. You know what I mean? Like that's something that, as I've gotten older, that's become more important to me. That wasn't nearly as prevalent, as when I was younger. So I just cannot excuse people excusing bad behavior. Like I just didn't grow up with that. You know, I'm the oldest of three. I'm the oldest of three. So one thing me and my sister used to always talk about, how we differ from our cousins, for the fact that we had a couple cousins that whenever they would do bad shit or do whatever, they would ride for their sibling, which of course you do. But me and my sister, we just didn't believe that. Like, of course, yeah, dude, that's some bullshit. I'm gonna have your back. At the same time, I'm turn around and say you want some bullshit and call you out. And it just seems like that's something that women tend to do more than men. Like, I'm just not gonna ride with a dude who's wrong as fuck just because he got a dick. Like, no, fuck out of here, man. Like this, I don't know. I just can't look at myself in the mirror knowing that. Like, no. Let's see. Those bad behaving women do not represent me. Oh, I know they do. I love it. And one thing I like as well is when I see women who actually pointed out and say, no, that's some bullshit. No, you guys shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be doing that. Excuse me. It's clear that shouldn't be done. So, main event marks. Appreciate you, man. I appreciate you guys coming in. It's 10 people. I didn't think it would be 10 people in here. I thought it'd be me and like Styles Point. Well, I even saw him here. Didn't think it'd be that many people. Oh yeah, absolutely. Janesta and my sister, and I think I've commented before. My sister, me and her a year apart. So I'm 39. She'll be 38 actually in a couple weeks. And my sister got married when she was 18, so she's like 20 years deep now. And me and my sister, like, when I found Kevin Samuels, I was listening to him for a while, and I happened to speak to my sister about it. I'm like, have you heard of this dude? And she had been watching him for months. Like, so my sister be in it like that, you know what I'm saying? So no, I definitely know not all women think like that. My women, my sister's so funny because she can't stand like a relationship in which a woman is trying to run that shit. Like she would like pull the dude to the side, like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, oh man. Oh yeah, no doubt, Boosh. I just appreciate you checking in, bro. I appreciate y'all checking in, man. I figured I would probably only be here. I didn't think I would have only like a handful of people, so I figured I'd probably be here for like an hour or something like that. I ain't trying to stay up too late. I want to get up early so I can hit the gym as well. Shout out to Drew Tight. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you. Hey guys, I don't know if you guys are into boxing, but Drew Titan, go check out his channel right now. I'm gonna try to see if I can put the link on here. But yeah, definitely go check out Drew Titan's channel. It's a boxing channel, but I can listen to the dude. I can listen to the brother just talk. Like, he's a dude, he'll talk boxing. Now, I'm not even gonna lie, Drew. I'll kind of spaz in and out because I say it in the chat all the time. I'm not really into boxing, but I'm in for the camaraderie. Seeing brothers with sense who can articulate themselves and talking about good game in between the boxing. He'll go in between talking about dudes getting knocked out, then go back into manosphere. So I appreciate it. Definitely go check out Drew. I'll rock with him for sure. Scorpio. No, Joe, that's funny you said it. Probably well, actually, yeah, for my live, it actually would be for the first one for my live. But I got my cherry pop a few weeks ago. Yeah. I'm too old to say pause. I'm too old for that shit. Did you day ones in the building? Oh yeah, Briscoe. Yeah, Briscoe. I think no, actually, it's funny you said that, Joe. Briscoe and Briscoe the King and what's the other guy? Excuse me, I'm getting random. Yeah, those guys were actually the first ones a couple weeks ago. Dropped super chats on me, man. So I appreciate it, man. Starting to get 15 people in the building. Did not expect this, man. I appreciate all you guys, man. I appreciate all you guys coming out, man. Just spending your time with your boy. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got things that y'all could be doing. And I appreciate you. Like you said, Boosh, I'm gonna get my workout in the morning, man. So I ain't trying to be up too late either. Trying to get up, get it early. I like knocking my workouts early. You know what I'm saying? So I can get along my day. But night workouts is good too, man. 'Cause it's quiet. Nobody's in the gym with you. Blowing up. Oh man, I'm trying, OG. I'm trying. I'm putting in the work, man. Putting in the work, averaging at least a good video a day, man. My subs done took off a little bit too. I think I looked at it. I was at 220, an additional 220 in like the last 28 days. So definitely picking up a little bit, man. I appreciate all you guys just coming out and signing. I didn't forget about you too if you're still in here. Let me see. Let me do something real quick, guys. I want to put Drew's channel in the chat real quick. Hold on for a second. Let's see here. Drew LLC. I like Drew, and I was listening to him, and it's funny because I was listening to Drew for a couple of days, and I was just waiting for it. I was like, "Oh, he New York." I was just waiting for the borough. That was the funniest thing. I was like, "Oh, that location, man, that's awesome. I love it for New York, Baltimore, and New Orleans. Oh man, I love it." Let's see here. Okay, I got you, Drew. West side in the building. Okay, Janessa. Yeah, I'm on the north end near Highland Park. Do I play any video games? Booch, great question. No. No, I used to play, I used to be a video game junkie when I was younger, man. Like I was a teenager, didn't have no life, nothing like that, man. I wasn't getting no girls, so I was just video game. And I was hardcore video gamer, man, up until my early 20s, man. I got in the military, and then I stopped playing for a long time. But the only thing I really play is Grand Theft Auto. That's about the only thing I really play. And that's been out for so long, I haven't been playing. I haven't really been doing anything since I made this channel, to be honest with you. My movie watching, video games, besides going out and making some bread and everything else been out the window, bro. But it's cool though, man. How important is it as a men to work out, Theo? Bro, red pill, man. That's a great question. I don't even feel like I'm the one to even answer it, man. I'll be completely honest with you guys. I just didn't. Let's see. I got back in the gym. I've been back in the gym for 4 months, red pill. And me and you talk behind the scenes, man. We talk about, and I ain't gonna get into it, but one of the things that I talked about, I was in the military, that I decided not to make it a career. But one of the reasons I didn't have enough discipline, man. I was always a dude. I would never work out, man. So I was always the dude that was fat, borderline kind of fat. But I've been working out for the last 4 months, man. But now I want to make it part of my regular everyday routine, man. Because for a long time I was a heavy drinker. I drank too much for years, and I stopped that shit, man. And I just want to be healthy now, man. You want to work out, look better, you know what I'm saying? I saw some pictures of me from just early this year, man, like 8-9 months ago. I was like, holy shit, man. Like a completely different person, just changing habits, man. So I definitely think that working out is huge important. It's something that I wish, red pill, that I would have taken more seriously. It's something that I would wish I was on when I was actually in the military. Like that's something that kind of just held me back, just because I was young and just like I didn't give a shit really. But appreciate you, man. Yeah, man, I drank. And it's something I'm not really 100% comfortable with talking about, but y'all in here listening to me, man. Hey, you know what I'm saying? I feel like this. I always criticize people for spewing their guts on the internet. So I always say that wouldn't be me, bro. But y'all the squad, man. So yeah, for a long time, man, I think I'm 39. So from the time I was 20, I started drinking when I was 20, man, up until about a year ago, man. I finally put the booze out. It's hard for me to even say like I drank that long, man. But yeah, I'll be next week, it'll be a year, man. I got sober, almost a year ago, man, and I'm chilling, man. But I just feel so much better. I was just having this conversation with my barber earlier today. I feel so much better, man. But working out, I want to make it part of my everyday routine for like the rest of my life, man. because also, man, I'm a father. You know what I'm saying? My son's 16 now. He's getting a little bit older, so he don't need me as much, obviously, as he was 6. But I just had this conversation with my father. My father's 62. I just had this conversation with him, and I was saying that I think as a father, or no, as a parent, I think you have an obligation to your children to be alive as long as possible. I mean, if they're minors, you have an obligation to them, not just to be in shape for yourself or your partner. You owe an obligation to them, in my opinion. So let's see. Working out has been a huge part of my healing after losing my hubby. I'm sorry to hear that, Sheila. I'm so sorry to hear that. It's good for my mental and physical health. Yeah, it's absolutely. It's really helped me. And it's funny, man, because I've been in good shape. I think like 2 or 3 times. Well, no, 2 times in my life, and both of the times I was in the military. Like, hey, that's bullshit. I was like so undisciplined. Yeah, Joe. I know you was a vet. Let me see. Which branch was you in? Oh yeah, 5 days a week. Yeah, I've adopted the rule. I just went and worked out this morning. I think I hit it like 3. I try to get 4 or 5 days a week, but I've adopted the rule where I guess it's more of a universal rule. Don't go 3 days without working out. Don't go 3 days with that. And I want to have that until you guys ever been on YouTube and seen like those old people are like 80, 90 still working out? They look mad and annoyed what they're doing. They're like, I hate what I'm doing. I don't know why I'm doing this. You're doing it because you to be doing it, to be 80 and 90 still doing it. So I want to have that mentality so that it's there for the long term. You know what I'm saying? I just wish I would have had it, had that mentality when I was younger. Let's see. Oh yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, man. It was tough, man. It's even, I ain't gonna lie, it's even a little tougher for me admitting it, man, because I just was really ashamed. And I was a closet drinker, so I wasn't one of those dudes who were like, I wasn't one of those dudes who would go out and get DUIs or go out and get in fights or anything like that. I always said, man, I perfected. It's sad, man. I cannot believe I'm talking about this shit online. I always said that I perfected the art of professional drinking, or being a closet drinker. That's the best way I put it. Like, people wouldn't even know I drank because I just mastered. I just mastered the art of hiding it. But you can't hide from yourself, I suppose. I did 5 in the Army. How long did you serve? Joe, I was in the Air Force for 6 years, 2004 to 2010. I was stationed after basic training, I was stationed in Dover, Delaware. I was there about 1.5 years. I deployed once to Qatar, and then that was my first deployment. And then I came back, and then I was in Korea for 1 year. Then I went to Japan. I was in Okinawa, Japan, at Kadena Air Base. I was there for 3 years. So total 6 years, 3 bases, 2 deployments. I deployed to Iraq once too when I was in Japan. So hated it while I was in. Absolutely. No, I hated it for my first 3 years, but I didn't have the mentality. One thing about the military is that the military is a lot of jobs say this shit, but Joe, you know more than anybody. The military is a career. A lot of people say it as if it's just you will not, excuse me, I said that wrong. The military isn't a career, it's a lifestyle. A lot of people say, oh yeah, I have a job, and they ask me at Target working the goddamn checkout line. They ain't a goddamn career, that's a job. There's jobs, careers, and there's lifestyles. The military is a lifestyle. And I took my civilian 20-year-old civilian mindset into the military, trying to treat it like it was a job. No, not so much, but it is what it is though. But yeah, 6 years I did. Martella E&J stock went down when I started drinking. That's no doubt. And it's crazy because, Joe, I was talking to a buddy of mine, my boy Troy Nate, man, some dude in Utah, a guy I served with, man. I served with him twice, man. One of the greatest dudes I've ever met, man. He a white Mormon dude out of Utah, man. And we talk every few years, and we were texting here recently, and we were just talking back and forth. And we were reminiscing on old times, and his text out the blue. Yeah, man, we were talking about old drinking stories, and he was like, yeah, man, I've been sober 6 years, man, or something like that. And I was just, it just made me think, like, how we had that same issue without even talking. Like, it wasn't just me, you know what I'm saying? And one thing that's not talked about is alcohol. That's not talked enough about. It's alcohol abuse in the military. It's just something that's not nearly discussed enough. I'm glad, man. I didn't know. I was hoping I didn't offend you or say anything wrong, man. But I'm glad I can help in any way. The only bad thing about the gym is those thirsty women who are not there. Man, Sheila, I stay away from them. I'm like, nah, because I'm cool. I'll say I'm a cool guy. I consider myself a cool person because I kind of think it's you shouldn't say who you are. Other people determine that. Just like all these women out here who say they're a dime and they're looking like shit, Beanie Siegel on the streets. Like no. So what I want to say is I would like to think I'm a cool person. I like people to determine that for themselves. But I said I like to say this: I'm not a friendly person. Like in person, like you meet me, I'm just not friendly initially. I get to know you, I'm cool as shit, but I'm just not friendly. So I keep the leave me the fuck alone face. I stay people leave me alone for the most part. So let's see here. Let's see. I want to go to Japan so bad. Oh man, I was in Okinawa, Boosh. One thing I regret about being in Okinawa, because it's like I always say about Japan, where I was at Okinawa compared to the United States and Hawaii. Hawaii is the United States, but it's so far in the climate. It's the same thing with Okinawa and Japan. You got mainland Japan in the north, Okinawa in the south, so it's hot year round. It's actually warmer than Hawaii. It's warm all year round, beautiful weather. Yeah, I wish I would have went to mainland Japan. I wish I would have went to Tokyo while I was there. I didn't want to go, man. I was just lazy on some lazy. I missed a couple opportunities in the military just being lazy. Like I could have went to Alaska one time, and I was like, no, because had been in Okinawa for years and didn't feel like being cold for a week. I was like, fuck that. It just some young shit. When I was stationed in Korea and I never went to the DMZ, I never saw the demilitarized zone. And then I end up on some lazy shit, just being hung over on the weekend. Like, no, I'm not taking the 4-hour bus ride up there. Like, just on some BS, man. I feel like I'm missing so much shit. The chat no talking. Let's see. Yo, what's up, Ron? How you doing, bro? I was such a wild animal on the military. I calm down, go to bed at stop. You got me beat on the cursing part, Joe. I definitely haven't done that. But I feel you, man. I was stupid in the military, man. Grown folks talk. You missed the get together. I had to cover for you. Oh man, I don't know what's going on. My bad, grown folk. Alcohol abuse and being talked about in the military is a feature now. Man, it's crazy, Joe. Because man, in Korea, I don't know if you know anything about Korea or if you were stationed there, man. But like when I was stationed there in 2006, Korea, it was a remote assignment. For you people that don't know, a remote assignment is when you go and you don't take your family with you. So you go and like you just stay. If you're a married person, you just go and you stay like in the barracks or the dorms. So we call them the Air Force. And doing that after that year, the whole point is that on that year in Korea, you're there, you're not with your family. It was no driving when I was there, like nobody owned cars or anything. So especially the fact that nobody drove, everybody walked everywhere. It literally was alcohol. Our squadron had a bar. Our squadron had a bar in which all the higher ranking people, if you were E4 or actually below E5, you didn't have to pay for drinks. You would just go to the bar and get slaughtered for free by the higher ups. And it was I just really think it's so ingrained in the culture. It's just something that he was drinking a bit too much too. It's kind of like, damn, like I didn't, it's kind of crazy. Yeah, we is in here. I did not expect that many people. I was not stationed in Korea. I was stationed in Fort Hood. Okay. The baby shower. Oh yeah. Oh. Oh man. The baby. Oh, is this? Oh, I think this is my cousin, man. Oh, my bad. I think this is my cousin. Oh yeah, I did. It's a baby shower. I know I did. My bad. I'm a terrible cousin. I heard Korea has Juicy's running. My bad, Joe. I ain't even going there. Oh yeah. I never looked into Hawaii that much, but I had the Hawaii feeling. But yeah, man, that's why I call it similar, because I when I was in Okinawa, I had a girlfriend who was Okinawan, and she went up to like Maine. I remember she worked at a bank, and she went to Tokyo and mainland Japan for like a few weeks, and she just came back bitching about how rude everybody was in Tokyo. I'm like, those Japanese are your people. They ain't my people. I'm Okinawan. Like I ain't Japanese. Like just weird as shit. But yeah, man, Okinawa was dope, man. I think the wildest thing about it, at least what I remember, was that it was no crime. Like literally no crime. And the Japanese culture, they are really into the media. They're really into the news, whatever the news is talking about. So combine that, just like, man, we watch the news is a background for the majority of people here in Japan. Everybody's watching the news constantly. So any little thing would make the news. I'll give you an example. An army sergeant's kid was throwing rocks at an old Okinawan dude's house, broke a window. That made the news. So like, you know what I'm saying? So that's what's going on. Dude, that's my nephew. How is my nephew in the chat? You do not need to be here, bro. All discussing I'm about to do. Let's see. It's cool to have y'all coming in here. Oh, so let me. I just don't want to miss science. So I left a community tab, and asked you guys what you guys want to talk about. And none of y'all left me any comments, so I should judge y'all, but y'all here with me. No judgment. All right, Boots, I appreciate you checking in, man. I'll catch you later. He left a question about what did he say? It was about the long hair. My bad. I just read this too. That's that weed. No, let's forget everything. I would like you to discuss the importance of men cutting their hair. All right, I'll get right back to that sign. I'll probably get distracted again with the wells. So what would happen if you didn't drink? I'm not a drinker, smoker, or gambler. My father had those addictions. I promised that I got old. I pride myself to staying away from it. Man, that's a good question, man. And it's fun. And it's funny you said that because my father wasn't. My father wasn't a drinker. Wasn't a drinker like that. My father's a pothead. Still is. My father's 62, smoked me under the table. But my pops wasn't really a drinker like that. Let's see. I had like phases, man. Like at my worst phase, I couldn't sleep. Like that's really where I just wouldn't sleep. That was like at my worst. My worst was when I was in the military. After I got out of the military, it became more of a habit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like a habit, but I don't know. It's kind of hard for me to explain. Like it became more like routine, you know, where like I think at my worst when I couldn't really like sleep or anything like that. Like I didn't get as bad as some people. Like some people be getting shakes. Some people get violently ill and need to be hospitalized. I never got to that extreme, but I also had my limits as well. That's why I said, man, I had a PhD in functioning alcoholism, man. Like I had a rule. Not even a rule. I didn't drink during the day. I just didn't believe in drinking in the day. I always felt like you can't be productive. If I wake up cracking a beer at 6 a.m., how the hell am I getting something done? That was my big thing on it. But oh yeah, thanks, Joel. Yeah, I appreciate it. But yeah, that's really what it was more than anything, man. And just really, I don't know, like just really realizing this is bad for you. That's what really got me over it. I was just realizing it was bad for me, and I knew it was too. But I think with anything with addiction, and I don't want to act like I'm some addiction specialist, but I think with anything with quitting, you just got to get to the point where you're like, I'm done with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm done with whatever it is. The importance of getting men a haircut. Yeah, that was something that he said. That was someone left a comment saying. My thoughts on it, I'm a little bit different, man. Like I'm a dude. I got some hair. I ain't got a lot of hair. Like, so I can't really grow my hair long like that. But I'll say this, man. If you want to see, I'm not some straight-laced dude like that. Like I'll make like Mr. Samuels, like, hey man, cut your goddamn hair. Like that's not really my bag. But I'll say this: you can't dictate if you work for somebody or work for a corporation. You can't dictate them your policy. Fuck out of here. Like nobody's going to care about that. You know what I'm saying? You can't say that, hey, yeah, this company, this position, I want this position, but I ain't cutting my hair. Oh, your rules is to cut your hair. You got to get clean shaven. Nah, man, I'm going to do me and you're going to give me this job. Eat dick. That's what I would tell you if I was the manager. Well, I don't know if I can tell you to eat dick. I'll tell you to kick rocks, though. I think HR will allow that at bare minimum. So, yeah. So you just had to be realistic. I think if you want to rock your hair long, if you want to rock your beard, all right, Sheila, I appreciate you coming in. If you want to rock your hair long, rock your beard, you know, whatever. If you're working for yourself, you know, if you want to go the entrepreneur route and keep, you know, you rock and wear your hair as long as you want to, yeah, but you can't expect people to conform to your likes, man. I had to shave my beard and shave my hair before I joined the military. It's kind of part of it. So let's see. Let's backtrack a little. So if 50 was your daddy and you spending 60, what would you do with the money? If 50 was my daddy and I was spending, man, that's a great question, Joe. I mean, I don't know if I was him or having, I don't know, man, what would I do with the money? I'll tell you this, I wouldn't, it's kind of hard for me to say, man, because I would think at 25 or 26, I wouldn't still have my hand out. But let's see, instead of your $6,800, what would you do with the money? Oh, man, I don't know, man. That's a good question. But like I said, I don't really want to get into it too much because 50 elaborates on not just the money that he sent him. And like this clip I want to react to, he talks about his son being this huge sneakerhead, like, you know, buying all these shoes and kicks and shit, and been like that ever since he was a kid. His mom calling him every other day, telling her that, you know, telling 50 that she needed him to buy new shoes for him. And he presented him an opportunity to actually start his online, an online store where he'd be selling his own shoes. And he kind of just didn't take any action. Oh yeah, no doubt, Joe. Yeah, no doubt. it's weird. I think I'm having I'm struggling getting over the fact that he's 25 and still getting child support and still got his hand out. Like if he was 16, 17, I'd be looking at me like he was crazy. Like, dude, you about to be grown, but 25, man. Let's see. All right, Janessa, y'all have a good one. Learn to cut my own hair because cuts out there are too expensive. Almost 50. Yeah, man. I just got mine. I think 30. I got mine cut today. It's 30. Lucrative opportunities. Yeah, man. That's what I kind of saw, man. And I just feel like that's kind of crazy, man. He presented with you that opportunity, and I don't know, man. Just a grown. I look at myself. He said his son is 26. At 26 years old, I was getting out of the military, a 6-year veteran, and I bought my first house. Like, so, and I grew up poor in the hood, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? But also, and like I said, Joe, we talked about, with the boys crisis, and I made a video a couple of days ago about this YouTuber kid found his mom doing OnlyFans, told his YouTuber, and he blabbed to the world. But the real crux of that video was that the fact that, man, I can go on around all day talking about how boys need their fathers, man. So I want to judge 50 Cent's son, and of course he's entitled to shit. But I question the 50, and I love 50 as an artist. Back when I was younger and really gave a shit about music and all that kind of thing. But I question, man, where were you there for your son? Because like I said, I told you what I was doing at 26. I just got the military. All right, man, just bought this house. All right, let me try to figure out after being, working for Uncle Sam for the past 6 years. But also, my dad was in my life. My dad is in my life. And then I just realized that's something else I just recently hit me. I'll be 40 next year. My dad's still in my life. My dad's 62, strong and kicking. And I still go to my dad for guidance. So I just really something just hit me recently, how I realized it actually was a clip from Steve Harvey. It was Steve Harvey talking to someone, and he was saying how he had his dad for 40 years. And it hit me like, damn, so do I. And my mom. Like, I realized like so many people don't have that. Like, I just kind of realized like I'm blessed in that, in that fashion. I always have somebody who was guiding me, not a dude that was just sending a paycheck, so that's how I feel. But the haircutting thing, man, that's not a thing that I really want to stand on because I don't really give a shit about how people's personal appearance is. Now, I don't, like, as I said, I don't think you should be able to you can't dictate, hey, man, I want to get a penis tattooed on my forehead, but don't you judge me now. You should give me all the same hiring opportunities that you would give someone who has a penisless penisless. Why do I use penis? Someone who doesn't have a dick on their forehead. You know what I'm saying? So that's just what I think about it. Wasn't going to direct you to mom and her use. Oh yeah, absolutely, man. And like I said, man, she was saying in a interview this week about shit that was 20-some years ago about 50 Cent being shot. Like, dude, what? How many albums ago was that? How many television shows? Like, what if you don't let that old shit go? Like, so that lets you know when someone has to live in the past, they definitely don't have a future, and they haven't been doing anything in the present. Oh, kids in here, can you keep it? Kids in here? No, I can't. No, grown. Now you got grown folk talk. Kids in here, can you keep it PG? That name's a contradiction. What about how you dress? Do you advocate for a certain look? As I'm getting older, Red Pill, I think I have to be. Like before, you see, I was in a wife beater earlier, and I was about to get on with a wife beater, and I said, "Nah, let me put the shirt on." It took me 5 seconds. I think, and I'll keep it a buck with you, Red Pill. I think that's in the spirit of Mr. Samuels. I feel like, starting a little podcast and having a couple of people follow me or whatnot. I just feel like that's a part of maturity. And Mr. Samuels said that one time about dudes like in their 40s. And that's one thing I can't stand. We talk about like the bonnets for the women. And a lot of people like to make the comparison like of the do-rag. And I don't like that comparison. Like, yeah, it kind of compares, but not really. I hate the dudes that's with their goddamn pants sagging. You 40-some goddamn years old. Pull your goddamn pants up, man. And so that's what I do think you have to have that represent. Part of me wants to be like Red Pill. I don't really give a fuck. But I feel as I get older, and then also if you're going to consider yourself a leader amongst people, not that I consider myself a leader or anything like that. I'm just a dude talking on YouTube, and that's something that I stress. I hate when people come on and say I'm a coaching expert and all. Like, dude, you make videos, bro. Like stop the cap. But so I don't like to project myself as I'm a regular dude, man. I'm a regular dude. Probably smokes a bit too much weed, but hey, I don't drink, so it's all good. But I do think, man, it has to be some sort of level, man. It has to be something, man. You can't just be out just rocking any kind of way, man, especially once you get a certain age. I think I give people a pass when they're in their 20s, but as you get older, man, you should become wiser. And that's a mistake that I used to make in my youth. I had this notion that if you were older, you automatically were more mature or wiser. So I would naturally defer to older people because I was saying, oh, that guy's older than me. He obviously has more sense. Fuck no. Definitely was not the case. Let's see. Oh, the hell with Jerry's kid. Yeah. Oh, my bad, B. Oh, let's see. The very same people who say the freedom of speech does not mean freedom of consequence are the same ones who say they should. Yeah, man. That's what it is, man. And I agree, man. Like, yeah, you should have freedom of speech, man, but it's consequences that come behind it. And you walk into self, if you walk, it's nothing illegal about you walking up to somebody and telling them to kick rocks, but you tell, and I'm saying that because it's kids in the house. But if you do that on a regular basis, if you take that chance going out to doing that to somebody. So let's see. Yeah, man, the pants sagging is it's a bit much, man. I hate them bonnets though, but I think like the do-rag comparison is like, yeah, it's the pants sagging, bro. But I do think you got to have a standard, man. At some point, you just got to grow up, man. I heard Mr. Sammy saying that because I'm not like a suit and tie guy. I do plan on being like I do plan on my podcast in the future being in the shirt and tie on a regular basis. But I do feel you got to have a standard, man. I kind of feel like at one point you got to grow up. Unfortunately, we all have to grow up. You know what I'm saying? I want to be in my wife beater with some piece of sauce on my face right now, but you got to grow up, man. And I talk too much shit on the bonnet babes that be coming on Mr. Samuel's show. I talk way too much trash to them, man. So you got to at least be semi-decent. So let's see. Yeah, man, that's crazy. Yeah, I don't know, man. They situation. I'm still. How long did you have a podcast, young man? Oh, my podcast. We're almost at 4 months. Almost at 4 months. I think in a couple more weeks. So my podcast is young. It's young, but I'm trying though. I'm trying to get it together, and I'm figuring it out. And I'm thinking, not trying to pat myself on the back, but I'm thinking I'm getting better at it. I've been getting the vibe like the last couple of weeks. I'm starting to make. I think my videos have improved quite a bit. I was looking at some old videos. It's another guy podcast. His name is Jay. Damn, I just thought about. I get sidetracked. I didn't even put Drew's channel in here, but there's another guy named like Live with J&J. He's got a small podcast, about 3,000, and he was doing a 1 year special. And I saw that he was playing videos from when he first started a year prior. I said, "Oh, that's dope. I'm definitely doing that." So I checked out a couple of my videos, and let's see, check out Drew's channel. And I check out a couple of my videos, and I'm like, "Oh, these are terrible," and they're only 3 months old. They're terrible, but yeah, Joe, it's starting to crawl a little bit, man. That's all I said. I got my podcast is starting to crawl a little bit. My podcast at first, man, I actually got kind of scared, man, because my podcast had kind of took off when they first started. Because the hardest part I think is just getting those first 1,000 subs, man. So my podcast, I started in June, excuse me, in June, and I made a couple videos. In like my third week, I had like 16 subs, and I went from 16 subs to 950 subs in like 9 days. Like I got 1,000 subs in like 9. Like my channel took off, man. So I was like, "What?" I had got like kind of scared for a second, man. So it's kind of cool. It worked out how it did because mine went off, and then I started having a bunch of technical issues because I'm new at this shit and I'm terrible. I'm new and I'm terrible, man. So I had a bunch of issues, and I ended up having to take my computer to the shops. So I ended up not making video for like 2 weeks. So like my channel, kind of cooled off, which kind of worked out good, man. Because I got kind of scared, man. I'm like, dude, this channel is just, I go from no subs to like 1,000. I had like a 20,000 view video, a Kevin Samuels video. I was like, I'm starting to get the idea of what I'm doing now at almost 4 months. I'm starting. If you're not making content, I'm not trying to get too into that, but it's a lot to learn about, YouTube. So I'm starting to get the feel of it. And my videos are getting better, but I'm kind of getting the feel of like titles, thumbnails, and the back end getting monetized, all that kind of good stuff. So, but I appreciate it though. I am working trying to make it get a little better. Appreciate you, Red Pill. See, I'm not a suiting guy either. I can't get on board with that. It's hard getting rid of my Jordans. Like it's constantly talk. Yeah, man. See, I wasn't really I had a sneakerhead moments, man. Like I've always been like a laid back. I never really like been like a materialistic type dude. I had my moments, like my little, after my first deployment, the first time I actually had a few $1,000s in the bank account, Joe, I didn't know what to do. Definitely had to go waste some money on jewelry that I would immediately lose. Yeah, great choices at 21. Let's see. He from Bama, cool dude. Who from Bama? I forgot. My bad. Last about who we talk about. I like hearing other perspectives and form my own viewpoints. Actually, I'm going to be appearing on my first podcast on the near future discussing WWE. That's dope, man. It's funny you said that, Joe, because I never was like into wrestling, man. I only remember wrestling one I was in wrestling only at one point in my life, really. You know, I watched it a little bit as a kid, but it was during like the Rock Stone Cold era. That was the only time I had a couple cousins move in with us, with my siblings and myself. And my cousin was like a huge wrestling fan, so he got all of us into it like when I was in high school. And that happened to be the Rock and then during that area. So thanks, Janess. I appreciate it. Oh yeah, I appreciate it. Oh man, it was a learning curve, Red Pill. That's why I saw your video, man. I was like, oh man, no, I'm like, oh man, he kind of dope with it already, man. Yeah, it's definitely a learning thing. The big thing, oh yeah, I got a radio. Oh, that's one thing. I do. I don't pat myself on the back one thing, but I've known that for a long time. I have a pretty decent voice. I got a radio face. Got a face to match. So yeah, Jay versus Jay. Yeah. He a cool guy. I haven't followed him like that. I just check in with him from time to time because he be like playing Madden and all that stuff. I ain't into all that. Yeah. I appreciate it. Yeah, people have been telling me about my voice for years, man. For years. I figured I might as well do finally doing something with it, I guess. That's funny, man. The WWF era. That's the only time I was really into it, man. I still go back and like just watch random clips of The Rock. I forget. I'm not huge in the wrestling. What's those segments called? The promos when they just be talking trash to each other. Love it. Let's see. Oh yeah, it was funny, man. Is that I was going to get into. I was actually. It's funny, man. I always thought I would be talking. Like I've always had that. I've always had that feel. I don't know why, because I definitely don't think people should listen to me. But yeah, I was gonna get into radio and all that kind of stuff when I was younger, man. Because like my voice, my voice, I don't know. I think my voice started to change when I was like 19 or 20. I remember people first like noticing it when I was in the Air Force, man. I had to, Joe, I worked at the military airport on base, and I used to have to make announcements. And man, I had a sergeant, bro, he was about 5. He was a little shorter than myself. He was about 5'8", man. And he used to be a drill instructor. And he had like an aneurysm. So he had like this twitch. He had like this, like he'd be talking to you like his face was twitching. But he was cool. But he's just, if you didn't know him, you'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with this dude, man? Because he's short, swole, and just walk around. And I'll never forget, I was doing announcements like, I don't know, this is Senior Airman Theo. This is at Kadena Air Base, flight 0700 going to Hickam Air Force Base in Hawaii. Then 1700 flight to Yokota Air Force Base, mainland Japan. I'll be doing stuff like that. I'll never forget, man. He walked back because we kind of knew each other, but we really didn't know each other. I'll never forget I was doing an announcement. He came by, was like, holy shit. I did not know we had Barry White working in the terminal. I'll never forget that, man. They're like having people like, not they try to be gross, man, but like having like women, like you talk to women over the phone. And I've had women like, bro, they get weak in the knees over the phone. Like no, like that's dumb. Like that's so stupid. Let's see. What's your thoughts on modern movies versus old movies? Sneaky with the random question, bro. I'm a huge movie head, but like I was saying earlier in the stream, I don't get to watch nearly as many movies because I'm doing this shit all the time. But man, I'm trying to see what I'm trying to say is I would love to start a channel where I'm talking movies and TV shows, but I want to talk movies and TV shows that I want to talk about, like not like Marvel and none of that bullshit. Not that no offense to those movies, I just think they're mediocre at best. Excuse me. Oh, that was gross. Excuse me. But I would love to do that, man. But this podcast channel takes up all my time, but I think my problem with modern movies, I just talked about this on another forum. We were talking about Prey, the movie Prey that just came out with the new Predator. I like the old Predators just like everybody else. I love sci-fi is my favorite genre. Terminator, Aliens, Matrix, all that. I can talk about all that nonsense all day. But we were just talking about this. Basically, Prey is getting praised like this movie is so great. And I saw the shit and was like, like this it's okay. Like it's this Reggie, man. This ain't no loud, man. It's Reggie. And I was going, and basically my whole point was that I think modern movies have gotten so bad that our bar is so low that anything that's not trash or not shit, you know what I'm saying? Like anything that's not trash, we're like, oh man, that movie is great. Like, no, it's just mediocre. But the bar is so low, and I want to blame the fans for being idiots, but I can't really. It's the product. It's the product we've been getting. Let's see. I didn't realize well until adulthood how much talent went into being a pro wrestler. Joe, it's not enough to be able to move, but taking the bumps, cutting promos, calling secrets. Oh yeah, Joe, I just saw a crazy thing on wrestling, man. Look this up, man. Vice. I just seen it the other day. I can't remember what it's about, but it had me stuck, man. I was trying to edit videos. I'm like, I'm stuck on this old wrestling shit. I don't know the name of the title, Joe, but it's Vice, and it recently just dropped a couple weeks where they're talking to dudes like from the 80s, and it's like Jerry Lawler. Like, I didn't know he was a big deal back in the day. And they're talking about like the Memphis wrestling scene. Like, it might not even be the 80s. It might be like the 70s. And it's like, I'm talking about dudes, man, where this story is just so crazy. Like, I had me stuck, man. Dude talking about being like the Memphis scene being so crazy that they would try to incite mobs. Like, they could consider that a good night. But like the fans would naturally hate them like as if the shit was for real. Like, dude, somebody brought in a homemade blow dart, hit a dude in the ass with a needle. Like, it's the craziest shit, man. Look it up, bro. Oh yeah, no doubt. Let's see. Oh yeah, Joe, take your time, man. I stopped smoking cigarettes and drinking ginger to prove my voice can improve. Oh yeah. That's one thing about, like I said, I still smoke my weed, but I watch my videos and like, oh man, you guys can't really see me from the type of videos that I shoot on my channel. But like if I'm close with whatever, like, oh man, got them weed lips. Your lips getting black. I mean, my next Friday fed. Favorite movie of all time. Bruh. It's hard for me to say, man. Favorite movie of all time, man. I got like a list. I got a list of 30 movies I got a list of like 60 movies I want to talk about. Like 30 of them is like my, okay, I would really want to talk about these 30, and like the other 30. That's how many movies I like. I always said, man, my favorite movie. For a long time, I said my favorite movie was it was an off-brand movie. It's like a movie most of you guys have never heard of, or possibly you have. It's Green Street Hooligans. It's a movie about soccer teams, like football over there in London, and the brawls. Man, I just think it's like just a great story. But I don't know, man. It's hard for me to say. Forrest Gump is one of the greatest movies of all time, bro. I love Forrest Gump. And I watched that when I was like in the 6th grade and way too young to understand Forrest Gump. Shouldn't have been showing us Forrest Gump in middle school. Like, I had no idea what that movie really meant until I got over, especially the scene when he jizzed himself. Hilarious. Let's see. Ginger tea so my voice can improve. Let's see. I'm trying to think, man. What other, man? I like a bunch of movies, man, but it's hard for me to say, man. It's hard because it's just so many good movies. I just watched another one of my favorite ones is Frailty, man. It's a movie with what's the dude? Oh man, Bill Paxton. Bill Paxton died, man. Bill Paxton was the only dude to get killed by Terminator, Alien, and I'm missing one. Terminator, Alien, and he got killed. I'm missing one. He got killed by one of those two. I know he got killed by the big three. Oh yeah, man, Forrest Gump, man. I love that movie, man. I watched it recently, and it's just a great story, man. That's one of the things. I just like a good story, man. I've been thinking about a series that was on YouTube years ago, Red Pill. Most favorite genres, sneaky, is definitely sci-fi, man. Sci-fi. If it's a sci-fi movie, I'm telling you, bro. Since I started this channel, that's what kind of all my attention went to. But before that, man, if it was sci-fi, man, anything sci-fi. I used to be big into horror, but I don't really watch horror as much. But anything, man. Post-apocalyptic is my favorite. Like, I was watching right before I had to turn it down. I had old Walking Dead episodes on. I mean, I know they're on the final season now, but I stopped watching a few years ago. But that shit I used to love that shit. Anything post-apocalyptic, man. That's like that's actually my favorite. I don't know if that in science fiction, I would assume they're kind of hand in hand. But he was a true tombstone. Oh yeah, man. Yeah, I used to love The Rock back in the day. Pulp Fiction. Pulp Fiction is definitely dope. Pulp Fiction is a movie that I have to see again, like with my more mature, like adult eyes. You know, because one thing I'm not bragging, but I kind of think, Joe, you stupid. I kind of think that you watch movies at some point, but I think once you watch enough movies, you start to get an eye for like actual good movies. Another good movie that I like randomly was Nightcrawler. What's that guy? Jake Gyllenhaal. I know a couple actors, but not really like that. It's not really my bag. Let's see who's in who's there. I'm missing who's in Tombstone, man. So I don't even think I just saw, and that's the other thing too. I haven't even seen all the classics, man. I just saw what was the one Deserves Got Nothing to Do with it. Clint Eastwood, Morgan Freeman. I just saw that one just recently for the first time. The film that came out in '92. I just saw that one. I know somebody put it in the chat. I can't even think of the name of it, but I just saw that. I'm a huge bookworm. I just finished reading The Ghost in the Machine. Oh yeah, Joe, I can tell you are SP, my guy, man. Yeah, I'm reading right now, man. The YouTube formula, man. I don't know if you guys can see it, man, but it's the book's supposed to be telling you if you want YouTube success, man. I'm feeding it. The YouTube channel to me is like a plant, man. Red pill, you got to water it every day. So trying to figure out how I can water it the best. SP, that's Styles. Oh, SP is Style .973. I just call him SP. He represents CT. Joel, you down in Florida. Okay. Yeah, man, what time is it, go? I guess we can go to 10. I guess I'll go to 10. Oh yeah, Styles. Yeah, man. Oh, so I'm glad you correct. Oh yeah. You know, I gotta see Tombstone. I think The Quick of the Dead is I think that's what I'm talking about. No doubt, Joe. But SP, you brought up a good point. So I actually wanted to post this in my tab. So yeah, man. So I want to start going live a little bit. So here's the issue. I was trying to go live, man, a long time ago. And like, you know, I want to have a show, like, you know, when we reacting to videos and all that kind of good stuff, you know, because I want to get better, man, because this audience is going to grow. I just, you know, I got kind of have a feeling. So, but what I found out, man, that's why I had to cancel the live so many times. I was trying to figure out what was going on. Basically, I need to switch internet providers, basically. Long story short, I got AT&T, which I love, and I got to go back to Comcast. Their upload speed is too slow. So I can't do like StreamYard. Because I signed up for StreamYard. I'm ready to go. I'm about to click. Like, why is this not working? And that's what I found. I had a technician come to the house. I bought a new modem. I'm like, hey, bro, why can't I go live? And I just found out that the service in my area is super slow. So I'm going to have to switch providers. I'm actually meant to post this on the community tab, but I just bought a house. So I just bought another house. And so I'm going to be moving in like probably within 6 months at the latest. But when I move, I'm going to have a full studio in my basement. Like, that's like, I was down there yesterday. I got windows. I ain't got windows and all that. It's a full rehab I got to do in the house. I'm down there looking at the basement like, yeah, this is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to have to wait to switch providers until I move. It makes no sense for me to do it right now, man. Not when I'm going to be out, you know, in a few months. Yeah, Janessa, I just bought my house over. I just bought another house with the land bank. The Wiz. I saw the Wiz. It's been a long time. I need to see the Wiz again. It's been a long time. Yeah, Joe. I need to read. Joe, I'm what was I gonna say? You say you're a huge bookworm. I'm a bookworm attempt. Like I start books. I start a ton of them, and then I don't finish a lot. I finish a bunch of them, but I don't finish all of them. But I like more of a purpose reading. I like purpose reading. I don't like reading too much fantasy and all that kind of, because it's entertaining, but I like purpose reading. When I read, I'm big on motivational reading. I'll read a lot of Brian Tracy. Brian Tracy, who's a huge motivational speaker from Canada. He's got to be close to 80 by now. But he didn't graduate from high school, grew up poor in northern Canada, didn't graduate from high school, and was a laborer up until he was 30 and got tired of being a laborer and started studying success. He started studying how people became successful, and then he became successful. And he's taught thousands and hundreds of thousands of other people how to be successful. And if you read his material, he teaches you how to be successful. Just follow successful people. Simple logic, simple concept, but I love it. But I like purpose reading. Shit, we've been running. Oh yeah, Style, bro. I swear, Style. SP is my guy, man. I think SP is probably like my second subscriber, man. I know Joel been here, but I remember Styles, man. It was like my second or third video. I think Styles was like, bro, your volume is like, and it was all over the place. And I didn't even recognize it until you said it. And I was like, my volume's all over the place. I listened to like, holy shit, my volume's all over the place. And so he told me about it. I was like, my bad, bro, man. We ain't got it fixed, man. And yeah, Styles P was like I think it was Elisa Smith. Well, I haven't even seen her around that much, but it's all good, man. It's all love anyway. But yeah, man, I appreciate y'all, man, just for being here, man. Like I said, taking time out y'all day. See, don't look back. Never forget to chill and immediate 100. Oh yeah, for sure, man. For sure, man. I'm just a regular dude, bro. I'm a regular dude, man. I don't think I'm anything other than that, man. You know, I just just try to be myself, really. But I don't really, I'm just myself, man. I just try not to be. I'm a direct dude. That's where I struggle with. I'm trying to think of like, hey man, what do you struggle with? I struggle with my directness. I had somebody, I think it was I think I knew a subscriber. Her name is Monica or something like that. And it's got like 11% women. I'm starting to see more women on here, which is dope. But Monica said that she was like, I like your directness. You're a very direct person. I was like, you don't know the half. All I do is who just tries to fight his directness all the time. Most definitely got to cop that YouTube secrets. Yeah, man. It was that dude named Dave, man. I seen he was the one who told me about it, man. So I bought the hard copy. I'm kind of old school like that, Joe. You probably the same way. I don't really like the digital copies for books. You know, they're definitely convenient, but I like having that hard copy. Let's see. We're going way across the Assassin's Creed novels. That's what's up. Man, I bought the Story of Dragon and Ice. What's that? The Game of Thrones books. I bought that shit years ago, man. You talk about getting something and being just mad, like this goddamn homework assignment. Them shits is like a set of yellow pages, man. Like a set of them shits. Like, I want. Man, I pushed nope. I got the old school, like the one with the leather back, like spent some money on it. I got all 5. I said, man, you don't take this shit. I don't like them dragons that goddamn much. Push that shit to the side. They just been up there collecting dust, man. But I've read my educational books. I do a little better than that. Yeah, man. I like reading. Another thing, I'm random, man. I'm big into like Korea. I was in Korea for a year. And I don't know just because I was in Korea for a year, but I have like a fascination with like North Korea, man. Like I low key want to go, but high key I'm smarter than that. I just have a fascination with the country, so I've read several books on the topic, man. It's just North Korea. I don't know. I think we all weirdos about certain things. I'm a weirdo about North Korea. Don't know why. Always feel old when I only want the heart. Yeah, man. Yeah, then like I said, I'll be 40 next year, man. So I'm kind of, I don't know, man. I'm kind of struggling with it. Not struggling with it, but it's just kind of like, what's the best way? They don't write you a manual on getting older, bro. like I'm like, man, I'm getting gray in the beard, man. So I like kind of grow out the beard a little bit. If I keep it short, man, I'll be out here the grays, man. Like, but it's all part of life, man. It's all part of life. I guess you want to rather grow older than die young, I suppose. But I have a greater fascination with not being the next Otto. Yeah, exactly, man. I watched a documentary on that Otto cat, man. It was crazy because they were never really able to determine what exact. Well, they did kind of determine it. North Korea kind of dropped the ball medically, for medical issues. But yeah, man, that's it. And then another thing I thought about, Joe, like you can go to North Korea. Americans can go. But I just kind of feel like with me being former military stationed in Korea, I sneeze too hard, take the wrong picture of the wrong statue up. You gonna have me like this? Joel saved me. And Joel gonna be in Florida like, hey, Theo, I told you not to go, bro. Okay. Does the food taste better in the States? Oh, hell no, man. Hell no, man. I became like a snob, man. Well, I don't say a snob. I became living in Korea. I said like just living in Korea, living in Japan. I became a snob when I can't go Flaming Wok. I don't know if y'all know all the local Chinese spots. I hate that shit. Like that's the big thing for me was just the Asian food. Living in these Asian countries, and not even that. Like I spent a lot of time in Thailand. Thailand was dope as hell. So yeah, man, that kind of killed all those notions, man. The food was so much better, man. So much better in Japan. And it's something that hit me because I was watching the special on just a random video on like Japan's diet and why Japan has, everyone is in shape in Japan because they have so much healthy, readily available food. When I lived in Japan, I lived like 25 minutes off base, Joe. Like I lived far away, deep into the town where nobody spoke English at. And I would eat from the gas, or not just the gas station. I'm saying like it's a Detroit gas station, like the 7-Eleven. Like you can buy hot little warm healthy meals, man. Japan was dope, man. Japan was definitely dope. I really would have wished I would have, if I could go back in time from the time that I was in the military, I wish I would have just did more, man. I was just trying to drink and hang. Like I went to, that's all I was trying to do when I was younger was drink and hang. I really wish if I can go back, people say, oh man, I can go back. If one thing I say, Theo, put the goddamn bottle down. You don't need it. All right, let me pull the drink away from you. And the other thing, man, focus, bro. Focus. What are you doing? Like, get on your purpose, Red Pill. Like we was talking about, stand on your purpose, man. I wasn't on my purpose when I was younger, but I got to learn to stop being so hard on myself because most people don't. I'm 39 now. I ain't 89. That's another thing, too. I'll be kind of hard on myself. That's where you belong. Yeah, exactly, SP. Sometimes do you use StreamYard so people can call it? No, that's what I was saying, Janesta, was that I got StreamYard, but I realized I'm with AT&T, and basically my upload speed is too slow. It's just for my service. I had a serviceman come out. So my upload speed is too slow to like run StreamYard, Zoom, or any of that. So I can't even do it. I'm literally going to have to change providers. But since I just bought my house, since I just bought another house, I'm not going to do it here. I'm going to wait till I move. And like I said, I have a whole plan on doing a whole studio. That little room I do my recording in now, got nothing on what I'm planning on doing next. People presume guilty. No, yeah, man. Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely, Joe. It's the same thing, man. And that's one of the things, even about Japan. Like I love living in Japan. There's virtually no crime, and that's one thing that's big about their judicial system as well, man. Where it's just you're guilty and go to fucking jail. Like what? Like they just take you off, bro. They just take you off, man. It ain't really nothing you can do about it. You ain't gonna say, hey, man, but my rights. You know what I'm saying? They be hitting your ass in the head with a baton. And it's funny, man. It's so funny talking about Japan, man, because I walked by a warehouse a couple weeks ago, and the dude was speaking Japanese, and I understood him. And I said something to him. I said, sumimasen, which is Japanese for excuse me. But it's just crazy how the mind works, because I had forgot that I used to could speak a little bit of Japanese, and I hadn't spoke that shit in 10 years. I left Japan in 2010, and this was a few weeks ago. Yeah, and I still could remember that Japanese. That was crazy to me. Oh, Janesta? That's pretty easy. Well, me, I put an effort to pronounce people's name correctly. At least I try. I hate when people don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like people, hey Theo, like having trouble. It's four goddamn letters, man. It's not that hard, bro. It's not that hard. When I was in college, I told my doctor that I was going into engineering. He said in Japan they have 5 engineers for every one lawyer in the U.S. You damn right, Joe. I've heard that a lot about especially China as well. Like just engineering is what they do, man. That's where they put their focus at. Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. I think Thunder God told me that one time. I don't know if he's still in here, but I was talking about not making it to New York yet. He was like, bro, why you acting like you 80, man? You good, man. But Japan was dope though, man. I really like my time there. Korea was cool. I wish I would have did more in Korea besides just drink. I mean, shopping like crazy, because this was back in like 06. And I used to buy my sister's in the chat. Yeah, sending all those the cheap stuff, or not cheap stuff, getting all those good quality things back, like the bags. And this is back in like the throwback era, Red Pill, where they was having the big jerseys. And the man used to get all that stuff mad cheap too. Did you watch Dragon Ball Z as a kid? You guys are with the random questions. I'm for it, man. Ask all the random questions y'all want, man. I remember Dragon Ball Z, but I was more of a I don't know. I think I was more like 12 or 13, something like that. Wasn't really into it, man. And it's crazy, man, because you know how you see like across social media, like Dragon Ball Z is used as like a reference for like a lot of things and like gifts and memes. And I had no idea. I see it and be like, I think I know what it's about. I think one of them is like Vegeta. Like, I think I said fajita. I don't even know what the fuck. It's not really about that. But I was a huge, like my favorite TV show growing up, bar none, was The Simpsons. I was a hardcore Simpsons fan, and I was just talking. I'm surprised he's not in here, but it's a little bit later on the West Coast. Raging Half Asian. I was telling him about that. How I grew up with growing up in the early '90s. I remember being a kid when Bart Simpson was like the devil when he was looking at the world. And my mom used to make us. We would watch The Simpsons, and my mom used to make us turn our heads away from the TV when Ren and Stimpy would come on. If you guys remember that, Ren and Stimpy, they were killing each other. My mom would make us turn our head. But it just makes me laugh at how much times have changed. Bart Simpson was considered the devil back then. Like, but I used to love The Simpsons, man. Up until I was about 25, like I was a hardcore Simpsons fan. Everything Simpsons, man. I used to do the trivia games, all of that, but I hadn't really watched it. Oh yeah. So, a little something here. There. Have anybody gotten to the Jeffrey Dahmer documentary yet? No, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. I've heard some things about it. You know, pretty good. He's terrorizing black folk in Milwaukee. that's what it seems like, man. But I don't really know about the story like that. I know I was reading a story online about him being pulled over by police and they kind of just waving it off, you know. It's kind of be like, oh man, he's a good old boy. He's a good old boy. You know, he won't hurt nobody. And he had like a body in the trunk. So yeah, man, I like those killer documentaries. It's not really my bag. I've gotten into it. I used to be in what's that channel? The ID Network, when they just talk about people like just murder mysteries. And that's one other thing too, like the murder mystery thing. That's like an American thing. Like that's like the whole world. Like that's a fascination that we have like strictly here, which is kind of cool, man. You know, we kind of got our own culture. But that's one thing that's just like, oh yeah, no doubt, sneaky man. No doubt, man. I'm probably gonna end it probably about 10 o'clock, probably about the next 15 minutes. We've been going over an hour, man. I didn't really expect it to go this long. It was like the fourth installment of it. Man, I tell you guys, I'm big into like documentary. Well, yeah, but documentaries. Like I said, since I started this channel, I really don't have the time to really do much of anything else. But one of my favorite documentaries is called. I'm huge into documentaries. My favorite is, oh man, I was just thinking Zach. Oh man, I just lost it. Zach, the light. Ah man, damn. I can't think of that. Man, I can't even think it. It's a great documentary. Something Zach. It would be interesting if not. It was like the fourth installment. How many episodes is it in that? How many episodes is it in that? In that Netflix doc for Jeffrey Dahmer. Excuse me. Hold on one second. I'm gonna look up this documentary. Look at the name of this documentary. It's in my head. I can't think of something. Zach. Dear Zachary. That's what it is. Dear Zachary. It's because I remember that situation like it was yesterday. Oh, see, I'm not sure. I think Dahmer might have been ahead of my time. When was Dahmer? Because you know, I was born in '83, so I think Dahmer might have been a little bit, or it might have been happening in the '80s. I don't really remember. Yeah. Dear Zachary. That's a great. I mean, it's not. I would say it's a great documentary. It's kind of sad, but you know, kind of all those kind of documentaries are. But Dear Zachary, it's a good documentary. Long story short, it was a guy who had what was it? His wife. You know, it was a guy who made a documentary. It was a gentleman. His best friend was murdered. His best friend was murdered by his girlfriend. His best friend was murdered by his own girlfriend, and at the same time, the girlfriend was pregnant by the boyfriend who she just murdered. And like I said, his best friend happened to be a filmmaker ever since he was a kid. So he just made a film for his son, his newborn son that was gonna come into the world because he didn't know his father. So he was making a film about that. And let's just talk about such a good movie. I mean, good documentary. It's just touching, but it's sad at the same time. Yeah, when was Dahmer? When was, like I said, I didn't really see it. I just seen the clips. I assumed it was like the 70s, but I don't remember. I don't really remember that. Janesta, I remember a few years ago here in Detroit when it was a killer. This might have been maybe 10 years ago. I think he was in Flint, though. I don't know if he was in Detroit, but he was killing he might have been a Middle Eastern guy. He was killing people a few years ago. He was I remember when he was active, when he was going to Flint and hurting people or something like that. But yeah, man, I appreciate y'all coming out, man. I appreciate y'all coming out. I think I'll wrap it up. You know, unless y'all want to chill for a few more minutes. I mean, it's about to be 10 o'clock. It's only a couple people left in here. But no, I appreciate all you guys coming out, man. I appreciate you guys coming out. And like I said, it's gonna be a few months before I have like my setup, you know, like I said, my new place. But I'm gonna have a full studio down in the basement. So that's what I'm looking forward to. Definitely doing that. I appreciate all y'all coming out though. I'm trying to think, man. Like I remember it was one. I don't know, man. Detroit got some of everything terrible. Yeah, Detroit got some of everything terrible, unfortunately. So I wouldn't be surprised. No, I appreciate y'all coming out, man. I appreciate y'all coming out. Like I said, I feel like I kind of owe that. I feel like I kind of owe that to the audience, come out and going live. Like I said, but I'll be happy though once I have my setup and we can start streaming some shows and reacting to some nonsense, all that kind of good stuff. So man, I appreciate y'all taking your time out, man. It's late in the evening. Get up, get my workout on early in the morning. Fight this cold, bro. That's hard. That's one thing, man. Getting up in the morning, driving to the gym. It's cold outside, man. That take motivation, bro. Get out of here. Oh, that's my cat. Lazy Bone. Lazy Bone, not Lazy Bones. I hate when people call them Lazy Bones. Like, no, it's Lazy Bone, L Burner, like the group from Cleveland. Damn, Joe. I hear you, bro. Yeah, I'm gonna be going to bed here in a minute, man. I might be up another hour. I already got my upload for tomorrow. Already uploaded, so I ain't touching no YouTube. Man, I'm putting in 6 hours a day, man, every day, making videos, man. This cat, bro. I try to get on my 500, Joe. I try to get on my 05, but no go. But I'll be up at like 7 though. I can't sleep. I don't know, man. Maybe I don't know, dude. Like I said, I'll be 40 next year, man. I was just having this conversation with my dad, man. I don't know if I'm just getting older, man, but shit, I can't sleep past like 7 o'clock. I'll be mad as shit. I go to bed at 2 and be back up at 7. Like, oh, well, I guess we gonna start the goddamn day. I guess this is kind of what it is, bro. Get out of here. Well, all right, y'all. I guess I'm gonna go ahead and end it, man. Y'all have a good night. Joel, get some rest. Red Pill, you got some uploads coming. And I really do appreciate you guys coming out, man. All right, man. Y'all have a good night. All right, Janesta, Joel, Red Pill, y'all be easy. Hey, man, I will, man. I will, man. You know what I was about to say? I was gonna say next time, Joe, you got to tip the jar, man. But the last thing I want to do, somebody email me asking me about like PayPal or something like that. I'm like, dude, I'm not there yet, man. I'm not comfortable asking me, so I don't even want to joke like that. I was gonna say, oh man, yeah, I'll tell you a joke if you tip my jar, but then people think I'm serious, man. Because that's one thing I don't think I'll ever be able. That's one thing I don't think I'll ever be used to on YouTube is like telling people like, send me some money, man. Like that's. Yeah, it makes me just thinking about it. I'll catch y'all later, man. Y'all have a good one. Peace.